this can last. There's a storm coming, Mr. Wayne. You and your friends better batten down the hatches, because when it hits, you're all going to wonder how you ever thought you could live so large and leave so little for the rest of us.
And of course, that's Batman and Catwoman, Christian Bale and Anne Hathaway in The Dark Knight Rises.
It's the third and final Batman movie from this group of filmmakers. Our movie guy, Aaron Lafferty, saw the movie at midnight last night. Very curious of what you think about this. Of course, this group of filmmakers,
right.
We've seen the story play out.
We've seen Batman done several times. So, yeah, this Christopher Nolan, who I really like Christopher Nolan as a director. This is going to be the last movie. This is a trilogy. Christian Bale said he's not going to do another Batman. Christopher Nolan said he's not going to do another Batman. So this movie is obviously going to make a lot of money this weekend. Mm-hmm. The tragedy in Colorado might keep some people away, but I think a lot of that was pre-sale anyway. Mm-hmm. So people are going to go see this movie anyway. It may just, overall box office might be down just a little bit. Basically, the story is 8 years after Dark Knight, which I talked about last week, which was part of the marathon at most theaters. You had all 3 movies playing last night. Theaters were packed. This is 8 years after the events of Dark Knight. Christian Bale as Batman. Bruce Wayne has kind of retired from being Batman. He doesn't want to be Batman anymore. He's trying to move on with his life. He obviously was pretty injured, as you see him walking with a cane. He was pretty injured in Dark Knight. So, you know, he's not the same man he used to be. Now you have this new terrorist that comes. His name's Bane. He has a shady background, and going up against a villain like this, he's not the same man he was in the previous movie, so there's a lot of issues. You know, he's very... Batman's always been a very humanized hero because he doesn't have any superpowers. He's just got the money and the resources, and he's smart.
And cool gadgets.
And cool gadgets and all that stuff. So there's a lot going on. This cast is fantabulous. Is that a word?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Sorry, it's the lack of sleep starting to come on. The movie looks great. It's interesting. It keeps you interested. I would say though, as much as it wraps up this trilogy and puts a nice bow on it in the last 10 minutes, you can't miss the last 10 minutes because it totally gives an end to the whole story.
So don't leave for a bathroom break.
Yeah, it brings everything together. Yeah, go before the last 10 minutes. I actually like Dark Knight better than this one.
Okay.
So I like the second one better than the third one.
Interesting. I think Anne Hathaway and Christian Bale seem to have a nice chemistry, at least from that small clip that we saw. Yeah. Their dynamic is really interesting.
Right. Everybody in the cast has this great chemistry. All the different groupings and pairings in the movie have great chemistry. The cast is great. I just think there's some points in the story where you may feel like it's going a little long. Also, the new villain Bane. Sometimes he's got this mask on, it's like breathing apparatus, and sometimes you struggle to actually hear what he's saying.
Oh, okay.
So there's a couple issues. I wouldn't say this is a perfect movie, but it's definitely a top in its genre.
I like your opinion about when people should spend the extra money to go to the IMAX movie. And I understand that maybe this was filmed a little bit with the cameras that are very in tune with IMAX. Is it worth the extra dollars to see it in IMAX?
If you're already excited about this movie, go see it on IMAX, definitely.
Okay.
This is one of those movies. It filmed more than an hour. I think it was 70 minutes worth of IMAX footage in this movie. It is 2 hours and 44 minutes. So plan your bathroom breaks accordingly, and you know, all that stuff. But and again, it's PG-13, so not for the little ones, but you know, for most audiences.
All right. Okay. So last week, a Michigan film movie got some great buzz at Comic-Con, and it's the prequel to The Wizard of Oz.
Yes.
Okay.
So we all know the classic 1939 movie with Dorothy. This is basically how the wizard, who's not a wizard actually, how he gets from Kansas to Oz, and he meets the witches. You've got Michelle Williams, you've got Rachel Weisz, and you've got Mila Kunis playing the 3 witches. And this is set to come out in March 2013. It looks great. It was filmed in the sound stages out in Pontiac. So there's a lot of set pieces here.
Neat. It looks really interesting.
Not necessarily locations that you're gonna notice, because it was a lot of sound stage, sets and all that stuff.
Okay, and you've got some picks too, because sometimes it's just nice to kind of go back and be able to rediscover some things that have been out already.
Or we could call it counter programming. If you can't get tickets to Dark Knight, or you don't want to go to Dark Knight,
right?
Or
exactly.
You don't have a babysitter. You're home.
Right. Let me give you one to see in theaters.
Netflix.
Moonrise Kingdom, and then I'll tell you about one to watch at home.
Okay.
Moonrise Kingdom is Wes Anderson, if you guys remember Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Yeah, I love that.
Or Rushmore.
That's great.
That's the same director. Basically, it's a story. There's these two young kids. They're like 10 and 12. I think she's 12 and he's 10 years old. They're young kids. They got this young love thing going. He's like a scout. They escape. They want to get together. They want to be together because they're totally misunderstood. They're these two like outcast kind of kids, and so then all the adults are trying to solve the problem, find the kids, and all this thing. You got Bruce Willis,
Edward Norton,
Bruce Willis in one of his most understated roles. He's just the same thing the whole time. And also to watch at home, Singing in the Rain, just a classic. Gene Kelly. It's the 60th anniversary, out on the special, I think three-set Blu-ray.
Wonderful. All right, and we can follow you on Twitter for lots of great information all the time.
Yes, all the quick reviews and other information.
You are a master Twitterer.
Yep.
Twitterer.
I try to get it out there for you.
Yeah.
Tweeter.
I am not like in the current language of social media.
All right, well, lots more of 8 West straight ahead. Don't go away.
Are you West?